and prosperous life. So the tree will bring forth its fruit, and yet the prosperous life, when it's bringing out its fruit, yet the people who are there will not lack anything, because there will be abundance for them to eat, and yet in it all the plants, or let me say all the trees that are there, their leaf will be used for healing. And that is the better promises one can get from God. So as a matter of fact, God wants us as his people to live a prosperous life, an healthy life, and he supplies our need to achieve that. So he wanted to live healthy life and prosperous life. So, and yet in it doesn't just happen as the Lord has promises, but he promises by what? By believing in it, that God is the one that said it, that is going to give us prosperous life and yet healthy life. But yet he's going to make something to happen through that. And that is what we call, we must live a life. He wanted us to live. He wanted us to live. He doesn't want us to get destroyed with famines, with diseases, but yet he has to make things to work for us through the water of life that the Lord has provided. And when it's provided, so it is going to water those things that will supply us through the dry season and the wet season. Is going to supply us that we are going to get access to it whenever we wanted to get access to it. So as a matter of fact, the life of fruitfulness and prosperous life is what God has given us through the water of life, and we must embrace it. So it is. So as a matter of fact, we must embrace it, and let us take it very important, because God hasn't forget anyone. God has not forget us. We may not have gone far as our mate has gone, but yet God has a plan for us, and that is the reason why he was saying to us that he has a good plan for us, the thought of good and not of what? And not of evil. Now, what is the advantage of the water of life in the life of believer? I don't want any other people. I think that one should be easy. We have answered a question relating to that, something tantamount to that. So now, what is the advantage of the water of life in the lives of believers? Yeah, it increases all our supplies. It heals. Yes, it refreshes. Say yes, it gives us hope. But don't let us forget that we have on our platform, we have our own part to do also. So God was describing, or let me say Psalm 1 verse 3 was describing someone. And what he usually do. So what is Psalm 1? How many of us is Psalm 1? We remember Psalm 1? What does Psalm 1 says? But we wanted to actually iron out verse 3. Psalm 1 verse 3. Let's go there. It was describing a good people who does not do evil. He said it will be like what? A tree planted by the riverside, which brought its fruit both dry and rainy season. And everything we do what? Will be perfect. There will not be flaw. So that is what it was describing. So yet we must believe that. So what's now? What other advantage do we get there? Fakin has said it increases our supplies and yet heals us. So what other things? Revelation 7:17. Revelation. So there will be provision. Everything will be has access to it, and that is it. So now, what other things does this do? John 4:14. Let's go there fast.